pretty little painting, hotter than a hot tool. Me I say you hot like them, I say you hot too. Yeah, me see the curls, them pretty with the contour.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel and for liking my videos. For those of you who have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and click that subscribe button down below and click the notification bell so you know when I upload new content, okay? For those of you who have followed me on Instagram at Journey with Me KC, thank you so much. If you have not yet followed me on Instagram, please go ahead and follow me. um Today I was on the road. I'm pretty sure you all know what's going on now. We are in a global pandemic, but that's not what I'm going to focus on today. Yesterday I was on the road, and I was in Price Smart buying some groceries and whatever, and it occurred to me, like, what would I say to my 16-year-old self right now, or my 15-year-old self? Because I remember I was sitting there and I was remembering when I was in grade 9. I used to attend Excelsior High School. That's my alma mater. I remember when I was attending Excelsior and I was in grade 9, my parents, they were having challenges providing for me and my brother, because my brother used to go to Excelsior as well for a period of time. Um, or was it until grade 11? I don't really remember anyway, but I know he was at Excelsior with me at one point in time. So when I was in grade 9, my parents was having challenges providing for us. My father, since I've known myself, my father has been working as a security guard at an apartment complex. He was also the groundsman there, or still is the groundsman there. Um, it was challenging for him because my mother wasn't working most of the time. I remember she got a job and then she lost that job, and then she was just at home with us. So it was challenging for my dad at the time, because it was his only job, and I mean, he was probably getting around 10,000 a fortnight at that point in time. I don't even remember because I wasn't privy to those information, but I remember that he was having challenges providing for us. My mother, because she wasn't working at the time, she had a shop at the house, so she used to sell groceries. She had a shop built on the house, so she was selling from there. It was difficult. It was really difficult. I remember when I was in grade 9, when I used to see my friends bringing $500 and $800 to school for lunch money. Literally, I was only getting like my bus fare and probably 100 and something to buy a patty and a drink. That's the most I could have afforded. So it was challenging for me, and I used to look at it, and I don't know, it's like I believe that God just placed something in me from an early age, so I knew that I was not okay with that. I mean, I knew I had to satisfy, and I knew that I had to work hard at bringing myself out of poverty and my family. And I mean, I knew that that's not how I wanted my life to be. So in grade 9, when I realized all of that, I at one point, not even though, let me just say, even though my parents were going through a hard time, I know they were trying. My mother was really trying, my father was really trying. So I didn't blame them for anything, because you can't blame poverty, you can't blame somebody for being in poverty. Well, you can, but I would never blame my parents, because we don't know, I didn't know what they have gone through, and how it is that they are where they are. Because I mean, my father was not privy to education like most of us know, because if you would be honest, when in those times when our parents were growing up, education was a privilege for most people. Most people couldn't afford to go to school, they couldn't afford shoes. My father was one of those persons. He didn't get to go to school, so is I wouldn't say totally illiterate, but his comprehension of certain things is not at a high level. So I would never blame my parents. My mother, on the other hand, she went to high school. Um, she got pregnant early, and I mean, life happens. And in those days, things were not as easy as now. So I understood that from an early age. I never blamed my parents for anything. I just knew that I had to satisfy with what I had, and I had to make the best of it to come out successful, basically. When I was in ninth grade, I remember in the latter part of ninth grade, my mother got a job at the airport, so she started working and getting a little. So she used to help my daddy, and I mean, it still wasn't enough because I was still coming to school with very little money. I don't remember getting a raise in lunch money or anything like that. So I guess it was still hard for them, and as do every relationship, my parents were going through a lot, and I remember they had a lot of arguments, and it really affected me. So I had to start going to guidance counselor. I went there. Nobody told me to go there. I went to the guidance counselor and I was talking to her because I felt like it was affecting me, and I was getting depressed and all of that. So I went and I talked to her, and she became my friend. My guidance counselor was Miss Swaby. I love her. She was there for me when I was in Excelsior High School. So I went and I talked to her, and she was there for me. She gave me pointers. She told me what I could do. She tried to help me as best as possible. And I remember during that point, I ended up getting lunch grants. And I remember my brother wasn't involved, but I remember I told them that I had a younger brother that was at the school with me, and he would need assistance just like me. And I remember they helped me and my brother to get lunch, so we got lunch free at school. I think it was I don't remember who provided that service, if it was the past students association or whatever, but I remember my brother and I got lunch from the school, so we were okay. I don't remember if it was in ninth grade or 10th grade. It was hard for me. It was really hard. I think I only had 3 uniforms, and um, it was just really hard. My parents couldn't afford to get everything for me for school, that is. And I remember I applied for a scholarship. I don't remember if it was in grade 9 or it was I think it was in grade 9. I applied for the scholarship and I got a scholarship. And the first scholarship that I got was from, I don't remember his name, but I think it was Braga something or another. And that was the first scholarship I got. And I think that was in grade 9. And then when I was in grade 10, I got Alice and Noel Downer scholarship. Um, Thank you to all those persons who contributed to my what do I want to say? My success in high school. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't know, I would not have been where I am now because you invested in me. In grade 11, I remember I applied back for the scholarship. I didn't get the scholarship in grade 11, I think. I don't remember. I think I didn't get it back because I I think they wanted to see improvements in my grades, and I think so I didn't get it back in grade 11. In grade 12 though, when I graduated from, let me just say, I worked really hard in high school. I mean, because I know that my parents didn't have it like that, I made it my duty to work really hard. And so I did. Most persons didn't know the struggles that I go through because I was not a vocal. I didn't say anything like that. Most persons didn't even know what I was going through because, number one, when I was in high school, I didn't have many friends. I really didn't have many friends because in my opinion most persons didn't like me because um I tried to stay close to my teachers, and they thought I was nuff or whatever the case may be, but being nuff sometimes is good. So I had no problem with that. So I really had no problem with persons not being friends with me, because at the end of the day, I know what I was going to school. I know what I was going to school for. When I graduated from grade 11, I graduated with 9 CXC subjects. And I only got 1 3. So I had all my other subjects were ones and twos, and I think I got 3 1s, and I don't know how the calculation go right now, but I know I got 3 1s. I got 3 1s, 5 2s, and a 3. And my only 3 was in chemistry, and that is because I really didn't even think. For me in chemistry, I feel like chemistry was just like it was just too much, and I tried, I studied, and I passed, so that was good for me. When I left grade 11, I wanted to go to sixth form, so I did. And the good thing about my school is that they reopened their sixth form probably a year or two before, so I got to go to sixth form. Going to sixth form was difficult for me because, as I said, my parents were still having challenges providing for me. I remember when I was in sixth form, I was not able to get all my books. I got a scholarship from grade 11 going to sixth form, so it provided me with uniforms, and I think it provided me with some of my books, and I don't really remember what it provided me with, but I know it provided me with uniform. The Past Students Association, I remember they sponsored my glasses, because I wear glasses, so they sponsored my glasses in sixth form. But while I was in sixth form, I remember having to go without some of the textbooks. These textbooks are really expensive. I could not afford them, but I didn't let that stop me, because I remember going to the library, and what I did was I paid to photocopy the pages of the books, and those are what each time they're going to a chapter, I'll go and I'll photocopy the chapter and I'll use that in class. And I remember that's what I did for a couple of my books that I didn't get. So what I would say now, I want to thank all of those persons, by the way, who invested in me again, because I really appreciated it. What I would say now to my 15-year-old self in grade 9, okay, don't worry. I would really tell myself not to worry, because there's greatness in you. I mean, there's passion in you. I know you're a determined person, so you are going to get through. Don't look at the no, because the no, it won't last long, because God has your back. I'd really tell myself that, because when I was in grade 9, I remember I was really worried. I was really worried and really stressed and really depressed. Most persons wouldn't know, as I said, because one person I talked to that knew was Miss Swaby, and she knew. A couple of my other teachers knew. One of my teachers that I used to talk to, he died. I don't remember when exactly he died. Mr. Phillips, he was my social studies teacher. There are so many persons in high school that impacted me, and I just want to tell all of them thanks. Miss Campbell, she teach social studies as well. Oh, I hope I'm not leaving out anybody. Mr. Francis, he taught visual art. He was one of my teachers, my go-to teachers. He was there for me. Who else? Miss Campbell, who was the IT teacher. She now lives abroad. She was my I got 1 in IT, and it was because of her. Who else am I leaving out? I hope I'm not leaving out anybody who had a personal relationship with me. I mean, all of my friends that were there for me. Candy was my friend. Kimberly. I remember Jacob was my friend. We'll chat. Adia. Jody K. I hope I'm not leaving out anybody, but all those persons, believe it or not, will play a role in your life, Keon. Will play a role in your life, and they played a great role. That is exactly what I would tell myself, because when I was in grade 9, I didn't know that I would meet these awesome friends. I remember spending time at Adia's house. She was my friend. these people got me through, because nobody knew all the hell I was going through at home, because my home was sometimes unstable as many other homes. And I'm so grateful to my parents because they didn't have to try, but they did try, and they did their best. And I'm here, I'm living proof that your circumstances don't have to hold you down. Your circumstances don't define you, because if you work hard, you will succeed. I'm not where I'd want to be now, but it is coming, and I am not worried because I know the type of person that I am. I work hard to achieve my goals. So it's okay. 15-year-old K, don't worry, you'll be okay. You will be okay, because God will bring you through. That is exactly what I would say to my 15-year-old self, and to any other 15-year-old girl right now. I mean, you're probably going through a rough patch now, because it seems like nothing is going right for you and your world just not working out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I mean, I know you're gonna think on it, but don't worry about it. What you should be focusing on right now is just working hard, getting your studies done, passing your CXCs. If you're going to sixth form, passing your CAPE. If you're going on to university, do that. I mean, don't worry about it. What you need to worry about right now is just focusing on your studies, because that is what's going to help to bring you through. And not just your studies, your attitude towards life. If your attitude is not right, then you won't, it just won't work out for you. Because if it is that you're going through a period of time right now, and you're 15, I mean, you have parents, and even if you don't have parents, have a positive attitude towards life. And if you have a positive attitude towards life, it will all work out for you. Don't be negative. I mean, I know life can get hard, but don't be negative. Just try to look at it in a positive way. Try to look at it and look at your future as how you'd want your future to turn out for you, and go at it with that future in mind, because that is what I have done, and that is what I'm still doing. Just never stop doing it. Just never stop doing it. So for me, that's my own encouragement to any 15-year-old girl. And I mean, anybody going through anything. I mean, even now, be positive about life, trust in God, and it will come through for you. I know some people don't believe in God, but even if you don't believe in God, I urge you to find God, because God is what brought me through. I mean, there are thousands of times when I was young and 15 and 16 and saying to myself, I want to kill myself and whatever. But, or what am I doing here? Or my parents now make me go nowhere. And on top of going through all the way you're going through, your parents don't want you to leave the house to go to their friends and etc. But I mean, be positive. Be positive about it. Be positive about life, and you'll be okay. I'm okay, so you'll be okay. You'll be okay. So yep, those are my words. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button down below, and follow me on Instagram at Journey with Me KC. Well, the art is not at the front, so it's just Journey with Me KC. Follow me on Instagram. Bye.